The money arrived faster than anyone expected. A phone call, a signature, a balance that looked unreal on a screen. And within a decade, most of it would be gone. Not because the winners were reckless, not because they were stupid, but because the system they entered was never designed for sudden wealth. Every year, lottery jackpots dominate headlines. Hundreds of millions, sometimes over $1 billion. The message is simple and seductive. One ticket can solve everything. But the outcomes tell a quieter, darker story. Multiple longitudinal studies, bankruptcy records, and investigative reports estimate that between 60 and 70% of lottery winners experience severe financial distress or complete bankruptcy within 5 to 10 years. Some return to their previous income level. Others fall below it. This is not a morality tale. It's a structural one. Because when money arrives faster than systems can adapt, collapse is not a possibility. It's the default. The biggest misunderstanding about money: most people believe money is the system. That if you have enough of it, everything else will fall into place. But money is not a system. It's a multiplier. It amplifies whatever structure, or lack of structure, already exists. Before the lottery, money had friction. Spending required effort. Saving required discipline. Mistakes were constrained by limited scale. After the lottery, friction disappears. Every decision becomes affordable. And because every decision is affordable, every decision becomes dangerous. Behavioral economists describe this as choice expansion without consequence calibration. In plain terms, when consequences feel distant, people optimize for emotion, not sustainability. The problem isn't that lottery winners spend. The problem is that they spend before building an operating system for wealth. Scale shock. To understand how violent this transition is, consider the numbers. The median household income in the United States sits around $75,000 per year. A $10 million lottery win represents more than 130 years of median income, delivered instantly. There is no human training for that. Even corporate executives scale into wealth gradually through promotions, equity vesting, and professional infrastructure. Lottery winners skip the ramp. They jump from scarcity to abundance overnight. Psychologists call this scale shock, the cognitive inability to correctly price decisions when scale changes faster than experience. That's why early spending spikes are almost universal. Homes multiply, cars upgrade, vacations turn into lifestyles. Post-win case studies show many lottery winners increasing annual spending by 300 to 500% within the first 24 months, often before any long-term financial structure is in place. The money feels infinite, but the clock has already started. The first drain, social gravity. The most underestimated force in sudden wealth is not taxes. It's people. Lottery winners don't just gain money. They gain visibility. Friends resurface. Relatives reconnect. Acquaintances discover emergencies, opportunities, and moral arguments. Sociologists call this resource role reassignment. You are no longer a peer. You are a node. And unlike corporations, individuals have no compliance department. Many winners report giving or lending large sums with no contracts, no repayment terms, no boundaries, not out of greed, but out of fear. Fear of being judged, fear of being abandoned, fear of saying no when no feels immoral. When those relationships inevitably fracture, the money is gone, and so is the social network. The ledger doesn't just drain financially, it drains emotionally. The investment mirage. Eventually, someone says the word invest, This is where the collapse accelerates. But here's the problem. Lottery winners invest capital before they acquire judgment. Instead of diversified, boring instruments, they are pitched. Real estate developments, restaurants and nightclubs, entertainment ventures, friend of a friend startups, assets with high failure rates and high maintenance costs. Bankruptcy filings among lottery winners reveal a consistent pattern: concentrated investments in illiquid businesses, often run by trusted acquaintances rather than audited professionals. The mistake is not risk. The mistake is unpriced risk. Without understanding downside exposure, even a large fortune can bleed out quietly through maintenance costs, management fees, and capital calls that never stop. Money doesn't disappear in explosions. It disappears in invoices, taxes, time, and the false number. Another illusion lottery winners face is the number itself. A $50 million jackpot does not mean 50 million in usable capital. Depending on jurisdiction, 30 to 50% may be lost to taxes immediately. Then come the slow drains: property taxes, insurance, security, legal retainers, advisors paid on assets, not outcomes. Many winners make a fatal mistake at this stage. They treat principal like income. They spend the engine, not the yield. Once principal erodes, recovery is mathematically impossible without outside income. And most winners have already burned the bridge back to normal employment. The money didn't just buy freedom, it removed redundancy. The identity trap. This is where most explanations stop, and where they fail. Lottery winners don't go broke because they spend too much. They go broke because their identity changes faster than their systems. Before the win, money was a tool. After the win, money becomes proof. Proof of success. Proof of generosity. Proof of worth. Spending becomes signaling. Giving becomes obligation. Risk becomes confidence. But wealth is not sustained by signaling. It is sustained by structure. Slow wealth builders acquire structure before money arrives. Lottery winners receive money before structure exists. The order matters more than the amount. Cases. The headlines never finish. Media loves the win. It rarely follows the decline. Winners who lost tens of millions through lawsuits, predatory advisors, or family conflict rarely make headlines again. Some end up bankrupt. Some end up isolated. Some end up worse off than before, financially and psychologically. What connects them is not personality. It's system failure. They were handed capital without governance, controls, incentive, alignment. No corporation would survive that. Why would a person? Why? The system never changes. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The lottery is not designed to create wealthy individuals. It's designed to create events. Jackpots drive ticket sales. Ticket sales fund the system. Long-term winner outcomes are irrelevant to the incentive structure. In fact, cautionary tales quietly reinforce the fantasy. That won't be me, but without structure, it usually is. The hidden ledger. So why do most lottery winners go broke? Not because they were foolish, not because they were greedy, but because sudden wealth breaks systems that were never designed to scale. Money didn't save them. It exposed them. And that is the ledger most people never see. If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe. This is Hidden Ledger, the numbers behind power.